the Lord, lovely people. Welcome back to Word of the Week, and thank you for keeping it here. Please, I'm going to ask you quickly, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do that. And don't you forget to click the notification bell so you can be notified every time we have a new video up. Today I am going to be talking about the story of Rahab, the prostitute that hid the spies that had gone to Jericho. So I'm going to be reading from Gospel of Joshua chapter 2, and it's a long story, so it's verses 1 to 21, but I'll read just a little bit about it to give you a picture, and then I'll give you the lessons that I would like us to learn from there as you watch this video. And don't you forget to share. God bless you for doing that for me in advance. Okay, let's read there quickly. I'm going to read verse 1 to 6. Okay, this is what it says. And Joshua the son of Nun sent 2 men secretly from Shittim as spies, saying, "Go view the land, especially Jericho." And they went and came into the house of a prostitute whose name was Rahab, and lodged there. Now, these are the spies that Joshua had sent. Verse 2 says, "And it was told to the king of Jericho, Behold, the men of Israel have come here tonight to search out the land." And verse 3 says, "Then the king of Jericho sent to Rahab, saying, Bring out the men who have come to you, who entered your house, for they have come to search out all the land." Verse 4, "But the woman had taken the 2 men and hidden them, and she said, True, the men came to me, but I did not know where they were from." Verse 5, "And when the gate was about to be closed at dark, the men went out. I do not know where the men went. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them." Verse 6 says, "But she had brought them up to the roof and hid them with the stalks of flax, and she had laid in order on the roof." That's verse 6. So I'm going to stop there, but it goes on until verse 21. So please take some time and read the whole story for yourself. Very interesting. Now, I want us to take a few lessons, or to look at a few things from this story. First and foremost, the first thing I want us to talk about is there are going to be some situations in your life that are going to need you to literally abandon or forsake everybody and everything else around you, and concentrate on what God wills for you, and concentrate on what God is telling you to do, and concentrate on the instruction that God gives you. For example, this lady was living in Jericho. She was a part of Jericho, but she had to forsake her own people. Omanyi, to go against abantu bogwengo omuntu. For example, let's say it's your tribe. N'olekawo abaganda bonna n'ennono zaabwe n'ebibakwatako na buli kimu, n'osalawo okolere oba ogende ne ba strangers bali, kubanga otumiddwa Katonda, kubanga you have been instructed, kubanga, you know what I mean. It's not something that is easy. Naye bw'onaaba ng'oyagala okulaba Katonda ng'akola mu bulamu bwo, you are going to need to forsake these people or these things in your life. So waliwo embeera nga ne bw'oba oyagala nnyo not to go against your mom, not to go against your friends, not to go against your culture, ng'ogenda kubireka okkirize Katonda asobole okukola muki mu bulamu bwo. Otherwise bw'oneesisigaza naawe ojja ddugenderamu ng'abalala. So there are situations mu bulamu bwo ezigenda okubaawo ng'olina okutekinga decisions bwe zityo, whether oli sure oba toli, naye ng'omwoyo oli akusindika munda akugamba nti kikole, ogondanga n'okikola. There are always reasons as to why you are being led in that direction. Katonda waffe alina our best interests at heart. So n'olwekyo tagenda kusindika mumbi, no, akusindika okukola ekintu ekyo, era ye yatusinga okukola ki, okutegeera. That's the first thing that I wanted to point out, and you're going to see that in verse 4. I read already, so you can refer there yourself. Rahab ya abandoning ebyabantu be n'abivaako nti oba ndidde mu nsi yange lukwe, something like that. N'atabirowooza n'asalawo n'akolera Katonda. It's very, very, very important. Point number 2, had determination to do God's will, even if it puts your own life in danger. This woman, Rahab, literally lied to the king. Kabaka yatuma abantu ewa Rahab n'abagamba mumugamba afulumye abantu abo. Truth is, bo abantu abo yali abakwese, yali abalabyeko, era yali amanyi ne bwe bali. She did know very well. However, she went ahead to lie. She risked her life to lie to the king. N'abagamba abantu abo tannabakola ki kubalabako, kumbe yababulira nekkubo we bagenda okukola ki, we bagenda okuyita. So she was really determined to do the will of God regardless. Jukira ono yali kabaka wano wawangalira. She had every reason to be scared. She had every reason to hold back, but she never did. Yakkiriza n'ataasa abantu bano because yali ng'ekyamazima Mukama ye yali amutumye okukola ebintu ebyo. Singa teyali Katonda teyandibikoze. Gwe kuntegeerayo ng'omwana w'omuntu ogamba abantu bange mbalyamu nti olukwe nimba ntya kabaka, naye ne weerabira nti waggulu w'oyo kabaka waliyo kabaka. There is only one most high king, and that is God. So n'olwekyo gwe bw'onaayagala otye nnyo ono kabaka w'ono owa Jericho, weerabire nti waliyo Katonda, you are going to lose out on everything you are supposed to get gwe ng'omwana wa Katonda. So omukyalo ono yakulembeza Katonda ye kabaka akyasinze na forsaking the king in Jericho. So had determination. We all need it nga abantu abaweereza Katonda. We all need that determination to know that the God you serve knows how best to protect you. So regardless of how far you are going, buli muntu akulaba agamba ona cham, how can this person do this? Gwe bw'obanga gwe weesiga okimanyi nti w'amaanyi. Just go ahead and stand strong, era obeere determined to do what God is telling you to do. Point number 3 is her kindness. She was kind to these people. In layman's understanding, it would be plain kindness. Yayamba abami bano, because honestly they had only just come to spy on the land. Singa bagwa mumbi, something could have happened to them, but yabayamba. Regardless, we know that she was being used of God. There was an act of kindness. Eri omuntu atachimanye nti omukyalo ono yali akola ki, akozesebwa Katonda. She was kind to them, n'abayamba, n'abataasa. So this kindness, all these good acts, I always tell you, nti zimala ne zisasulwa. So in the end, she was paid back by her entire family being saved out of the entire city of Jericho. You're going to see that in verse 12. Her and her family were all spared, but the entire city of Jericho was demolished, was crushed, was ekibuga kyonna bakimalawo except for her and her family. So ekikolwa kye ekyokubeera kind nakyo kyayamba nnyo. So it's important for us to practice kindness. Point number 4. Keeping stuff to ourselves. I always say nti mulokole sirikako. In verse 14, and the men said to her, our life for yours, even to death, if you do not tell this business of ours. Then when the Lord gives us the land, we will deal with you and your family kindly. So they told her, if you do not say of our business, bw'otakyogerako, enenkolagana wakati waffe naawe bw'otakyogerako, singa buli kimu Mukama kyakubikkulira togenda ng'okijaajamya, singa buli kimu ky'owulidde mu nsi ey'omwoyo togenda ng'omaze gakyogera. There is no reason for you to say it, but just because maybe, I don't know, you want to brag about it, maybe you want to show people how it could be anything. You don't have to keep displaying and sharing everything between you and your God. Some things Mukama aba abikugambye nga bibyo gwe ng'omuntu for your own good, nga teweetaaga genda ng'okola ki, ng'obibuulira buli omu. Singa omukyalo ono yabikkula akamwa ke n'abuulira buli omu nti abasajja nno ba Isirayiri nze nabakwese, you think yandimazeeko? Do you think her family would have been saved? No. Yalina okusirika. So okubeera n'emmizi mu bulamu bwaffe obwa bulijjo ne mu bulamu bwaffe obw'omwoyo is very, very important. You don't have to go uttering everything about your spiritual life. And our point number 5. This is very deep, and I would like you to understand it properly and correctly. Those who the Lord saves are predestined. They are predestined to be saved. Omukyalo ono yali malaya, but she was still used of the Lord. I am very sure nti mu Jericho waliyo abantu abatali babi nga ye. abatali bamalaya, abatali benzi, abatali babbi, abatali chi, but kyali kyapulaaningibwa dda Katonda, kyali kyasalibwawo dda Katonda nti alikozesa omukyalo ono ng'ayamba abaana ba Isirayiri okuwamba ekibuga Jericho. To you it might be a surprise nti nyambye abantu bano ne kinviiramu bulungi, but to God it is not a surprise. It was planned. Everything that happens in your life mu nsi ey'omwoyo kyabalibwa dda nti kijja kutuukawo. So omukyalo ono yali wakozesebwa of the Lord from the beginning. Era n'aba n'ajeema n'abataasavingibwe nabo gye bali nga regardless they know that salvation is for us all, bo bajja kusigala nga bajeemu, emitima gyabwe gijja kusigala nga gyakaluba. Naye bw'obanga oli wakulokolebwa, bw'obanga olikozesebwa Katonda, bw'obanga oli wakusavingibwa ng'omukyalo ono bwe yasavingibwa ne family ye, Mukama aba yakitegeka dda. It's not a surprise. Not to God. To you it might be, but it's not to God. It was planned and predestined. Point number 6. Salvation ain't for the righteous. Obulokozi si bw'abatuukirivu. Obulokozi bwajjira ffe boonoonye. Abatuukiridde tebetaaga kuyamba, tebetaaga kugololwa, tebetaaga, batuukiridde. They are righteous. They don't need saving. They are already saved. They are already fine. You who is a sinner, gwe Katonda gwe gwayagala akolectinge ne back, bringing you back to himself. So n'olwekyo gwe omwonoonyi gwe Mukama gwakola ki gwayagalira ddala, and Jesus came to die for you, not for the others abaatuukirira edda nga batuukirivu nga bamanyi Katonda ng'ebyabwe biri bulungi ate baba bafiirira baaki. Yafiiririra gwe ekibi kikusonyiibwe so that naawe otuukako ng'abali abatuukirivu we bali. So n'olwekyo salvation is for sinners, and that is why God did not use a priest in this sense. God did not use, or maybe mubulizi wanjiri that time, he used a prostitute because this woman needed saving. This woman needed to know there was a God who will not see her for her being a prostitute, but for her innocent soul not to perish in hell. Okay, so salvation is for you and me because we are sinners. Don't be scared of coming to God thinking you are too unworthy. No, you're not. Salvation is for people like you. There's more to learn about this story. There's more to learn about this lady. You can check it out in Joshua, like I said, chapter 2. You can read from verse 1 to 21. God bless you so much. See you next week. I love you.
Word of the week. Wow.